God's anointing doesn't just happen in here at a specific time of the week. Only when Pastor Kelly preaches. Only when we sing a few songs. Only when we do our prayer time. Jesus didn't say, I will build my temple. He said, I will build my ecclesia. Now watch. This is what made me so upset. Is because I've told you this last week, I have been craving the fruit of the early church and wondering why we're not seeing, because the Bible promises that in the last days, there's going to be a movement of greater power than of the former. And I'm going, we are far from even equaling the former power of what we see in the book of Acts. And Jesus said this himself, by their fruit you will know. So I'm asking the question, if we're not seeing the same fruit, we must be believing something different. Or doing something different. And I'm chasing back to some of the sources, because I've been chasing back. Where did we get off track? And there's much more than just King James. But I'm looking at that, and I'm going, it has been a preconceived thought, an idea that's been in my head, in our head, and I've done it. We're sitting in rows right now at a specific time in a specific place, and we're calling this church and all the rest of it, and we've done it, we've enacted, because this is all we've known for hundreds of years. But we have limited the power of God to 1 hour a week in a meeting, in a building led by a pastor. Come on. And Jesus didn't say that. And the early church didn't believe that. Because they didn't have the translation yet. Look at this, Acts chapter 2. The early church, this is their fruit. They devoted themselves to the apostles' teaching and to fellowship and to the breaking of bread and to prayer. And everyone, not just those inside the church meeting, everyone was filled with awe at the many, not just a few, many wonders and signs performed by the apostles. Next verse. All the believers were together. Not just one denomination, not just 15 denominations, not just one gathering. All the believers in a city were together and had everything in common. They sold property and possessions to give to anyone who had need. And I always looked at this verse, and I looked at it with awe, and I was like, what kind of crazy faith do these people have? Except for they were following the mandate of Jesus. And the mandate of Jesus is, I will build my social, political gathering of citizens meeting together to meet what? The concerns of the city. And they looked at this and they thought so highly of meeting the concerns of the city that they were willing to personally sacrifice to give to anyone who had need. Wow. And every day they continued to meet together in the temple courts. Every day, not just once a week, every day. So listen, they still had large gatherings. Please come back next week. We're going to continue this. They still had large gatherings. Why? We'll get to that, why they met together in large gatherings. They broke bread in their homes and ate together with glad and sincere hearts. They actually liked one another. Come on. Praising God, enjoying the favor of how many people? Just of the people that voted right with them, just of the people that they agreed with, just of the people. No, they enjoyed favor with who? All. Why? It wasn't we're going to see this in this. There's so much to teach you in the next number of weeks. You'd be shocked at who came to the defense of Paul and the disciples. You'd be shocked. The people who were threatened and persecuted them were the synagogues who met at a certain time, certain place, led by somebody who was afraid of losing their control. The ones who got put to death, William Tyndale, were the ones who started to threaten. Come on. They had favor with all people. Why? Because they were a social political gathering. on purpose, meeting together, meeting the needs of their community. Well, no wonder they had favor. You're fixing my problems. Come on. And the Lord added to their number daily those who were being saved. Fruit. Fruit. That's impressive fruit. But you know what's even more impressive? Look at this verse in Acts 19. I literally dropped my pen. Just in shock, stood back and went, whoa. This went on for 2 years. We'll explain in next week what went on for 2 years. But this went on for 2 years so that all the Greeks and Jews who lived in the province of Asia heard the word of the Lord. I looked at that and went, all? Without social media? Without the internet? Without modern transportation? In 2 years, all of Asia? Oh, we're doing this wrong. Come on. Because not all of Lethbridge is heard. I look at this and went, oh, we're misunderstanding some things. And this is on me. This is me deconstructing in front of you. Like, this is on me going, wait a second. What are we missing? What are we missing? We're missing something. And I think it starts with this whole idea that has been so ingrained. It's not your fault. It's not my fault. And we say, and I'm not wanting you to distrust the Bible, not at all. But I just want, because we're anchored on the teachings of Jesus, without question. But when I find that one word or one thing has been changed for the purpose of somebody's insecurity, and that's been infecting us for 500 years, I'm bothered by that. I want to know, what did Jesus really say? Because what he's really building, I want to be a part of what he's building. Not what man's trying to build, not what man's trying to control. What Jesus is building. Because I want this result. I want this fruit. That's pretty big. That's pretty big. And it's possible. It's possible.